Shalom, salam, and peace. My name is Roland Werner, and this is the third in a small series on God, your money, and you. I'm a German, I'm a theologian, I'm a church planter, a writer, an evangelist, so you'll discover my German accent. I hope that is okay. Still, it's better than if I speak German to you, isn't it? Okay, so maybe you heard my first little podcast about some of the nonsense that people are talking about when they talk about God, your money, and you. They want your money for themselves. They call it ministry. Don't be deceived by them. And maybe you heard my second podcast about the solidarity in the community of faith, in the covenant fellowship of Jesus Christ. The historic example from the New Testament and the encouragement to live out of this solidarity. Now, thirdly, I want to speak very personally about how can we manage our money. And I've been speaking to, administering to university students and many other young people for decades. So hundreds and hundreds of young people have been my friends and are my friends. And of course, money is a problem, is a question. And especially in our country, in Germany, it is also a little bit of the subject that you don't speak about. It's almost embarrassing to speak about money. If you have money, you don't show it. If you don't have money, you don't show it. And many people are caught in debt and feel very much ashamed about it, but they don't share with others. And I would encourage you, if that is your situation, please take a step of courage, go to somebody that you trust, share this problem with them, and try to find help, because this can become a spiral which will really make you depressed and has the potential to destroy your life. So there is hope, there is help. But if you can't do it yourself, which probably you can't, otherwise you wouldn't be in this position, please be humble enough and be brave enough to confide in somebody. Now I want to speak to the middle, meaning not the very rich nor the very poor. And I would think that most people that are listening to this and watching this are somewhere in the middle. Even if you're a student, you don't have much money. I'm not speaking to the millionaires, because to them I would say something slightly different, okay? I'm speaking to people in the middle, normal people. So let's say your income is 100%. See it as 100%. Now whether your 100% is $500 or euros as a student, maybe per month, or whether it is 2,500 or if it is 5,000. If we go far beyond that, you come into the millionaire category and I'll say something else. But if you're in the middle, say whatever comes in is 100%. So what do? You can have an income of 100% and an outflow of 100%. That's okay. You can live that way. What you get is what you give. What goes out, what comes in, goes out. Okay. Many people, however, live by another principle. What comes in is their 100%, and what goes out is 120%. Now that is a very slippery road if you do that for a long time. Get off that road. My advice to you, and this is not from the Bible, this is just from me, okay? So it's just some wisdom acquired in my decades of living and ministering with young people, is you get 100%, that's your income. Could also be your grandma who gives you money, also count that as part of your 100%. And try to live on 80% of that. So not 120%, not 100%, 80%. That's what I call the 80-10-10 rule, because you now have a problem. You have 20% left over. So what do you do? And my suggestion would be you divide that in two parts of 10% each. The first 10% you give to the cause of God in this world, the cause of the kingdom. I'm not teaching that you have to do that. It is an Old Testament commandment to the people of Israel to give 10%. It is not repeated as such in the New Testament. Yes, the early Christians gave, but there's nowhere in the New Testament where it says you have to give 10%. Nor does it say anywhere you have to give it to your local church. Still, of course, if you are in a local church, out of your solidarity, which I spoke about earlier, you should support that ministry and make it possible. And don't let your pastor and his family, eat paper for dinner. Give them something. But there's also a wider cause of God: evangelism, feeding the hungry. There are so many causes out in this world. So 10% you give to the cause of God, to the cause of the kingdom. And I don't mean to me. Don't give it to me. Okay? Give it to where God shows you to give it to. And 10% you invest in your future in some way. You think of your future, the future of those that you love, that you're responsible for, whether it be your spouse, whether it be your aging parents, whether it will be your children, whoever, or just yourself. That is okay. So 80-10-10 is my advice. It's not in the Bible, as I said, but I think it's just some good advice. And the final question, of course, in this whole matter of money, God, your money, and you, is, do we trust God enough to provide for us, even if we give away? Because money is security. And let me say that God is very well able to be with you, to support you, to provide for you. And even if you're in dire need at the moment, don't lose your trust in God, but He's there to help you. So let's entrust this whole area of our lives and our money to God and trust Him to lead us in a good way, to bless us, of course, spiritually first, socially, through friends, but also maybe materially. But He blesses us so that we can bless others, and we can live a blessed life that would reflect the character of Jesus Christ. Thank you for listening, and if you have any question, you can write to me, and I'll try to maybe make another little video and try to answer your question. All the best. This is Roland Werner from Germany, Marburg. God bless you. Bye-bye.